But it was very interesting. They were in a portion of California that wasn't really known for music, San Dimas. And it's funny. Here's a funny little story. San Dimas is known for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's where that movie was shot and filmed. And my cousin went to San Dimas High where they filmed that movie. So I started there, and when I got there, I was always trying to get into Hollywood, into the music scene, closer into town. So I found myself every day going into LA, just going down to Hollywood and just trying to find the niches and the scenes. So I would go to clubs like the Whiskey A Go Go, Club Lingerie, the Troubadour, and all these clubs that were known for pretty much rock, because I was heavily influenced by rock. You would think coming from Philly, R&B town, wow, the connection to rock. But rock has always been a part of my listening, from Jimi Hendrix to Parliament Funkadelic to George Clinton. And all those influences were there in California. If you go to these clubs, you can hear it in the music. So going back a little bit, I just, being from Philly, getting my chops, and then moving to Los Angeles, I was ready. And I had a small little recording studio, starting out, with basically, an 8-track recorder. But that time is when hip hop was really becoming popular, with that West Coast sound. So as I was kind of going out to the clubs and listening to the bands and hearing what was going on, I started hearing, wow, a lot of hip hop started coming up. It's like, okay, I wanted to produce. So there was a recording studio called Paramount Studios. It was a recording studio on Vine Street, right at Santa Monica and Vine, and that's where all the hip hop artists were recording. Dr. Dre started there, and right next to Paramount was a music store called Nadine's Music. And one day I was in there checking out basses, and a producer came in. His name was Sir Jinx. He was Ice Cube's cousin, and he heard me playing, and it's like, yeah, man, we're right next door. Would you like to come play bass on some of our tracks? So, I'm just like, sure, I'm trying to get as much experience and as much playing as much as I can. So I went over, and come to find out, he was producing Snoop's records. He was producing Ice Cube's records. And I didn't know this, but what was happening then is like, you would come into a session, and they'd have these turntables set up with beats and everything. And say, yeah, just play some bass to this beat. So I would just be there for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, just putting bass down on all these tracks and beats. And come to find out that a lot of it did turn up on Ice Cube's records. And I didn't get on any Snoop's records, but I did get credit for a couple of Ice Cube cuts. And then not only was he producing hip hop, but he was also working with some R&B artists also. CeCe Peniston, the name one. I got a chance to play on a couple of her tracks. Just playing on grooves, it's like, okay, play on this here. They would have the tracks, but a lot of times the artist wouldn't be there. So they'd be building the tracks for the artist to come in. So CeCe would come in, and I got a chance to meet her. And I didn't really know much about her until that song called Finally came out, and I'm playing bass on that. So that was a big hit for her. And it was just amazing hearing her voice. She is an amazing singer. I mean, on Chaka Khan's level as far as range and power. So I got a chance to meet her and play on some of her tracks. And that was a big part of my experience as far as hip-hop and the LA sound, the West Coast sound, mixed along with R&B.